Hi, I'm Bob Murray, and welcome to a special edition of Delaware Valley Outdoors, where you're going to see behind the scenes of our radio show that we do every week. We have special guest, Steve Von Brandt, is going to be there, and we're going to talk about guides and all kinds of things. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one.
Delaware Valley Outdoors, your best source for fishing information on TV, radio, and the internet. Delaware Valley Outdoors, your best source for fishing information on TV, radio, and the internet. Now, here's your host, Bob Murray.
And welcome to Delaware Valley Outdoors. I'm your host, Bob Murray. And this is kind of an interesting thing. This is a special edition of Delaware Valley Outdoors. We're not only doing the radio show that we do weekly, but we're also doing a TV show today. So kind of an interesting thing. We're setting it up, kind of seeing what happens. It's cold outside. Can't go fishing yet, but we're going to try. We're going to try. But we have a special guest here today. We have Steve Von Brandt from S&K Guide Service, and we're going to talk to Steve about what it's like to be a guide and everything else. Steve, welcome to Delaware Valley Outdoors.
Thanks, Bob.
You've given us a lot of reports on our website, and you also have done call in every week to the radio show with your fishing reports.
I really appreciate the opportunity, and have a good time doing it.
Yeah, we enjoy it. It's one of the things that a lot of people go to our website to read the reports about that. You have a guide service called S&K Guide Service, and I'm going to have to ask you what S&K stands for, and I know what it is, but go ahead.
S&K stands for Steve and Kurt. Kurt is my younger brother.
And you got into this for a variety of reasons, but how did you get started?
Well, basically, we got started in 1998. It was our father's dream to have us do something in the fishing industry that we really enjoyed, something that we loved. We could get up in the morning and look forward to going to work, and that's how we really got the idea to get it started, and it gives us an opportunity at the same time to really be on the water a lot and practice for the tournaments, which is our real big concern.
So you've combined not only the fishing tournament aspect of it, but you've added the guide service to it, so you're kind of killing two birds with one stone.
Right.
Steve, let's talk a little bit about a guide service. There's few guide services, that are around. You can travel, all over the country to the big lakes, but here you're in a state that's not known for huge impoundments. Am I correct?
You're correct. Most of the lakes in Delaware are around 100 acres or less, but they hold some of the best fishing in the tri-state area. There's some bass that are caught, I think you've seen from the website, that are 5 and 6, 7, and 8 pounds plus coming out of there. It's just a matter of knowing where to go and what to do.
I know we've talked about it on the radio show an awful lot, and we are going to go with you this year on Delaware Valley Outdoors TV side down to Delaware to do some shows with you, right?
Right.
We're going to. Is there any special places you're going to go? You have a list, I think, right?
Yeah, we have a list. I thought we'd hit Oxentown Lake, which of course is the lake where I caught the 10.16 pound bass. It was in Bassmaster magazine, and I figured we'd have a pretty good shot at there at a big one. We're going down to Killens and Dover. We could go to Trap, which is a real scenic lake. There's some big fish. There's also the chance at a good bass. It's 5 or 6 pounds, but it has a bald cypress swamp, which is one of the few bald cypress swamps in the United States.
And so there's all kind of types of fishing. Then you're just not fishing shoreline. You're flipping, pitching, and that kind of stuff.
Right.
The guide service, though, that takes a lot of time to do. How do you fit all that in? I mean, how many days a year are you on the water?
We're on the water whenever we're not pre-fishing for a tournament. We schedule all the guide trips around the tournament schedules. This year we're working the BFL and maybe an Everstart or two, and we're even going to fish at Angler's Choice, which is a team tournament trail, Kurt and I. So we schedule all the trips ahead of time, and we just work around the tournament schedules.
Mm-hmm. What's it like to now, tell me what your idea of a good guide service is? I know we've spoken before, and I've been out with a ton of guides, and what's your idea of what is a good guide service for our listeners?
A good guide service is somebody that enjoys what they're doing, enjoys helping you learn how to catch those fish. Not somebody that just takes you to a spot, a community hole, and just lets you cast and the heck with you. We do on-the-water instruction. We'll help you learn how to pitch, how to flip, how to work the different lures if you're not familiar with it. We put you into some of the best areas. We spend a lot of time ahead of time to make sure that the fish are in those particular areas that you're really going to get what you're after. We provide the lunch and drinks, which is something that most places don't do. We provide a video. I videotape the entire trip for you because people like to have a tape they can show their friends afterwards. And we even do framed still photos, and this is all at no charge. And we just feel that that's something that you should provide to the customers to do a little bit extra for them.
So, okay, now I understand you're fishing. I understand you have a client. How do you videotape your client as you're fishing and he's fishing? Because I do a TV show, and I can't do that.
It's not that easy, but it's funny, but you should say that, Bob, because I actually, at one time, I set up cameras in the front and the back of the boat when I was fishing alone, so that I could talk and fish and still videotape myself, and I did that for the first 2 years. I set a tripod up in the back of the boat so that on the few times that I do get to fish, I can land the fish and help the clients and everything like that. And the rest of the time, I'm on the camera, and I have Kurt up in the front. He's the main guy up there in the front, and the deck is big enough so you have the client right up there next to you. He can be real close to him. He can show him exactly where to flip and pitch in, and then I'm right there with the camera, and I can always set it down or just set it up on the tripod if I need to help land the fish. Or
that camera would be down about 2 seconds into the fish. I'd be throwing him a bait. I couldn't do that. Well, that's a nice thing for the client to get as he goes home. Then he can do that. Now, do you send that right to him, or does that come later on?
I just edit it a little bit, and then I send it right out.
And to him and do that. Well, you also take some of your video and put it on video to sell, am I correct?
Right. We just started doing that. I have about 500 hours of videotape, and I just made a quick tape, which you guys saw, that I mailed you a copy of that. Mm-hmm. And that's on tournament tactics and lake and river and pond tactics for bass and different techniques. And we're going to put them out next year. I'm going to have them produced professionally. We're in the final stages of editing them now. And then next year we'll have the packaging done, and we can get them on out.
Well, that's good, because a lot of times guys who are going to go fish new areas would at least like to have some idea as to what the area looks like, what the ramp looks like, and I know your fishing reports always give a really good visual detail as to where you're going to fish, what you're looking for, and doing that. Well, look, Steve, we'll be right back after this.